Okay, let's record a video showing how Tinkercad works and how you can share your work with me or to other people. So what you'll do is if you haven't created an account, you'll click on Join Now and you'll enter some information and you'll have a login. But I have an account, so I'll click on Login. Password. And here's the welcome screen. So we want to go to circuits. I'd like to create a new circuit. And I'll use their basic components. What I'll do is create a voltage divider just to illustrate how it works. So I click on resistors. 1K is good. Add another one. Add okay. I also need a switch to turn this on. There's a switch and a power supply. We have a 9-volt battery, so I'll use that. I need to rotate that battery. And that's good. And I also need a meter to measure my results. So I'll put 2 meters on here. In fact, let me put 3 meters on there. Okay, so let me see what I've got. The negative's on the left, so I want to connect all the negatives back to this negative on the battery. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking and shaping the way the wire runs. Okay, so that's nice, and I'll click on that to connect it. I'd like it to be a black wire. Okay, so then I'll click here and just connect the dots. Go up there, black. Here, try to keep it neat. Black as well. Okay, so all my negatives are connected together. I need to connect the bottom resistor to the battery as well. So I'll try to route this and make it look nice. Okay, that can be black. Okay, so resistor to resistor. Just straight wires. From the resistor to the switch. Come up here and I'll make it look nice. I'll make that red. From the battery to the switch. Okay, so my meters, I'll connect 1 meter to the bottom resistor. That can be yellow. I'll connect this meter to the upper resistor. That can be yellow. And I'll connect this meter to the power supply, just so I can see it turn on. Okay, that can be red. So it saves automatically. So I'll start the simulation. Of course, my switch is off, so I turn on the switch. 9 volts here. I have 6 volts in the middle, 3 volts on the bottom. So 3, 6, 9 works great. So that's how the circuit environment works. I think if I click, I can drag things. Stop simulation, I can drag things around. It's tricky though because the wires don't really adjust. You can drag wires to reshape them, but if you move things after you built your circuit, it can get a little distorted. But you can if you want to. You can also zoom out. Do it this button right here. Okay. So the next thing would be to not share it here. If you had an Arduino on this board, on this project, you would click it, drop it in here like so, and if you click on code and click on text, you get the environment that we're used to. So what this does is it blinks, there's an onboard indicator light right here, L. It will flash because of this code. So I'll hide the code here and I'll start the simulation and you'll see it starts to blink. And the rest of the circuit also works as well. So it's an interesting environment to work in. You can, in fact, I can use the Arduino to power the voltage divider. Let's try that and see what it does. Stop that. We'll break this connection here. And instead, I'll come off the 5 volts on the Arduino with red wire. And I'll connect the ground here to the battery ground. So they all have the same ground connection. And I'll start the simulation. And I'll zoom out. And I'll turn on my switch. Now I've got 5 volts, 3.3, and 1.67. These resistors create like a 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So a third of 5, I guess, is 1.67. Yeah, it is. 2/3 would be 3.33, and 5 is the supply. I can also change this and bring it over to 3.3 instead and turn on the switch and it works. So it's a nice environment. You can simulate lots of different projects and just decide if they would work if you built them in real life. You can also change the code on this to whatever you want. In fact, I just thought of something. I'm not sure which pin I think it's 13 is the pin for the light. Let's check and see. Yeah, 13 is an output. What I'll do is let's run the power for the voltage divider off of pin 13. Okay, so it should come off of the Arduino instead. But turn on the switch. See how it's jumping around there. So it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. So it's neat. It's something that makes it so much easier to design and build circuits and see if they would work. And then if you like them, you can turn it into a real circuit. Okay? Some of the minor problems are going to be that some components that we have in real life are not modeled in here, but they do a good job of getting almost everything else in part of the project. We have a distance motion sensor, and when you put that in there and power it up, there's like a little ball that you move around, and if you come within the zone, it turns on. So it's interesting. Okay, so enough of that. Let me show you how you share it. So you click on this box. You go back to the startup. You first thing you have to do is click on the settings, change the properties to a public design. Then you can left click on it, scroll down, and here's the link. So if you email me this link, I can open it and check your work and see if it works correctly. Also, if it's not working correctly, you can share the link with me and I can look at it and tell you maybe what's wrong with it. Okay. Um, so it's very handy, but you do have to share me that link. Like, for example, if you open this project and then click on code and click on download code, what you'll do is you'll send me a copy of the code here, but I can't run it because I don't have the wiring. I don't have your physical setup here. So you really have to give me a link to it so I can open it myself. Okay, so that's how you do it, and it's a nice design environment. Let me go back to something else I did previously, like this circuit here. This is one of our projects, the convey system project. And if I run it, let's see, I didn't finish it all, but I've got like a start push button here, and I've got the indicator lights, the different different outputs, the lamps and the valves, the output indicator. In my code, I've got all of this in the code, so it's coming together. I just didn't finish all the input wiring on it. So if I wanted to share this one out with someone, I would save it. I would make it public first of all. I already did. And I would left click, scroll down, and email that link. And then someone else could open it and get a copy of it. So I don't think you can actually change someone's work, but you can modify it in your own workspace. Okay? So that's pretty much all there is to it.